The galaxy was quiet. For the first time in centuries, the long, tiring wars between civilizations had ended. Planets that once fought over resources and territory now shared their knowledge, their culture, and their dreams. The stars themselves seemed to shine brighter, as if celebrating the peace that had been so hard-earned. And in the center of it all was humanity. Commander Ilara Voss stood on the observation deck of Aurora Prime, the massive neutral space station where the galaxy's leaders had gathered for the celebration. From her vantage point, she could see hundreds of ships of all shapes and colors drifting in formation around the station. Each represented a different world, a different people, yet here they were together. For humans, this was the first time they had truly felt like a central part of something larger than Earth itself. Ilara adjusted her uniform and watched a group of diplomats from the aquatic planet of Rylos float gracefully past her. Their translucent skin glowed faintly in the station's soft lighting, a natural bioluminescence that made them look almost magical. Ambassador Rylix, the Rylos representative, noticed her gaze and gave a slight nod. Ilara returned it, aware that this simple gesture held more weight than words could convey. Respect had to be earned in this galaxy, and humans were still learning the delicate rules of diplomacy. "Commander Voss," a voice called. It was Lieutenant Kara Chen, one of Ilara's trusted aides. "The opening ceremony is about to start. All leaders are assembling in the main hall." Ilara nodded and followed. The main hall of Aurora Prime was enormous. Its ceiling seemed to touch the stars themselves thanks to the transparent energy fields that replaced ordinary walls. The leaders of dozens of species had taken their seats, some floating in water-filled chairs, some standing on hovering platforms, and a few simply hovering using anti-gravity belts. It was a sight both strange and magnificent, a true testament to the galaxy's diversity. When the ceremony began, Ilara felt a wave of pride. Humans had been celebrated for their ingenuity, especially the invention of the stellar shield, a device capable of preventing star explosions from destroying nearby planets. Many civilizations had doubted that a young species like humans could create something so powerful. Yet here they were, applauded by all. The hum of alien languages filled the hall. A melody of voices joined in mutual recognition and awe. "Peace is not simply the absence of war," said one of the elder ambassadors, a tall being with crystalline wings that shimmered with every word. "It is the courage to understand each other, the strength to protect one another, and the wisdom to act for the good of all. Humans in their short history have shown all these qualities. Let this celebration remind us that unity is possible." Applause followed, not just from humans, but from beings who had once been sworn enemies. Ilara caught the eye of Rylix, who gave a small smile. Even he, usually cautious, seemed moved by the words. After the speeches, the ceremony moved to a more informal celebration. The hall opened into a vast promenade where food, music, and performances awaited. Humans mingled with aliens from the farthest reaches of known space. Ilara found herself laughing at the antics of a small, furry creature from the planet Nymora, who juggled glowing orbs of light with ease. Around her, other humans were engaging in games and contests, showing off athletic feats and clever problem-solving challenges. The energy was infectious, yet Ilara's mind wandered to a small blinking light on the station's sensors. She approached the console, her curiosity sharper than the music and laughter surrounding her. The signal was faint, originating from an uncharted sector of space. It pulsed in a rhythm that seemed almost alive, and for some reason it drew her in. "What is it?" asked Kara, noticing Ilara's focus. "I'm not sure," Ilara replied. "It's faint, distant, and unusual. It's coming from a system we haven't mapped. No known civilization, no registered anomaly. It's almost as if it's waiting." Kara frowned. "Should we report it to the council?" Ilara shook her head. "Not yet. Let's observe a little longer. Sometimes the universe surprises us in ways we aren't ready for." As the celebration continued, Ilara couldn't help but feel that this signal was more than a simple anomaly. Humans had always been explorers. From the first steps on Earth's moon to the daring voyages beyond the solar system, curiosity was woven into their very nature. And now, standing amidst the applause of the galaxy, she felt that same spark calling her. Meanwhile, the festivities were reaching a peak. Performances of light and sound told the history of countless civilizations. Dancers from the planet Lyra moved in synchrony with floating instruments that changed color with every note. The audience watched in awe, applauding every display. Humans contributed too, sharing stories of Earth's oceans, mountains and skies, painting pictures of a small planet that had somehow influenced the vast galaxy. Amidst the joy, Alara noticed something else. Not all eyes were friendly. A few delegates watched humans with suspicion, whispers hidden behind polite gestures. Old rivalries could be set aside for celebrations, but ancient doubts could not be erased in a single day. She made a mental note. Even in peace, vigilance was important. Later, as the stars outside the observation deck began to reflect the glow of countless lights from the promenade, Alara took a quiet moment for herself. She gazed at the signal on her console again, her fingers tracing the coordinates. It pulsed once more, steady and persistent. She felt a strange mix of anticipation and caution. Thinking about exploring, Kara's voice came softly. Alara smiled faintly. Always, it's what we do best. The galaxy may celebrate us now, but discovery is never finished. We have to step forward even when no one knows what lies ahead. Kara nodded, understanding the sentiment. Humans had a reputation for taking risks, sometimes too boldly, but that was also what had earned them respect. Their ability to act, to think, to challenge the unknown. That was uniquely human. As the night deepened, the festivities slowly began to wind down. Delegates returned to their ships, conversations fading into the hum of the station's engines. Yet Alara stayed a little longer, her gaze fixed on the blinking signal. She did not yet know what it meant, but she knew it was a calling she could not ignore. The celebration had filled the galaxy with hope. The future seemed bright. Humans were the heroes of this new era, the bridge between worlds, the symbol of courage and ingenuity. And yet, in that moment, a single human curiosity, the desire to explore, to understand, was about to set the galaxy on a path it had never imagined. Alara turned away from the console and joined Kara one last time in the promenade. Music, laughter, and light surrounded them, a symbol of everything humanity had achieved. But in the back of her mind, she could not shake the feeling that something extraordinary awaited, just beyond the known stars, something that would test not just human courage but the patience and wisdom of the entire galaxy. And so, the galaxy rejoiced, for now there was peace, laughter, and light. But one human step, one spark of curiosity had already begun to change everything. Days passed after the grand celebration on Aurora Prime, yet Commander Alara Voss could not stop thinking about the mysterious signal she had discovered. The galaxy had rejoiced, but in her mind, the signal pulsed like a silent heartbeat, calling to humanity's endless curiosity. Finally, she knew she could not ignore it. Alara stood in the planning room aboard the Starbound Explorer, a human vessel outfitted for long-range exploration. The ship was sleek, faster than most alien crafts, and equipped with the latest technology designed by human and alien engineers together. Around her, a small team of explorers and scientists prepared for the journey. Each was chosen for their expertise, their bravery, and their willingness to step into the unknown. "Coordinates are set," said Lieutenant Kara Chen, her eyes scanning the navigation panel. "This system is completely uncharted. There's no star map, no record of planets, nothing. Are we ready for this?" Alara nodded, a determined smile crossing her face. "We're humans. We explore. That is what we do. The galaxy may have celebrated us, but curiosity is stronger than celebration. Let's see where the signal leads." The crew included Dr. Halen, a brilliant human astrophysicist, and Ambassador Rylix's aide, a Rylos navigator named Thylor. Together, they represented a mixture of species and talents, showing the galaxy's unity in a single team. Each member understood the risks. The unknown could hold wonders, but also danger. As the Starbound Explorer left the safety of known space, the stars seemed to stretch endlessly around them. Alara felt a familiar thrill that she had experienced, only a few times in her life, the same thrill that had driven humans to step onto the moon, to travel across oceans, to venture beyond their home planet. It was the excitement of discovery, of stepping into the unknown. After several hours of quiet travel, the ship's sensors finally detected something unusual. A planet appeared on the screens, orbiting a small, faint star. Its surface shimmered as if covered in a thin layer of energy. Dr. Halon's eyes widened. "This is incredible," he said. "The energy readings are unlike anything we've seen. It's stable, but powerful. And the structure on the surface, it looks artificial." Ilara leaned forward, studying the holographic projection. The planet's surface was covered in ruins that shimmered faintly with light. Geometric shapes rose from the ground, forming walls, towers, and bridges. Symbols, unlike any language known to humans or aliens, were etched into the stone. The SCIFI planet seemed untouched by time, yet alive with a mysterious energy. "We should approach cautiously," Ilara said. "We don't know what we're dealing with, but we must investigate. This could be the discovery of a lifetime." Thalor, the Rylo's navigator, floated forward. "The energy field is unusual. It responds to our sensors. Almost as if it knows we are here." Ilara frowned. "Then let's make our first contact carefully." The starbound explorer descended through the planet's atmosphere. The air was clear, the sky a deep green, and the light of the nearby star reflected off the shimmering ruins. As the ship landed on a flat plateau, the energy field seemed to pulse faster, reacting to their presence. The crew suited up in protective gear. Though the planet's atmosphere appeared breathable, Ilara insisted on caution. She stepped onto the surface first, feeling the soft, warm ground beneath her boots. There was a faint hum in the air, almost musical, vibrating through her body. "This place, it's beautiful," Kara whispered, stepping out beside her. The team moved forward carefully, exploring the ruins. The structures were clearly ancient, yet advanced in ways they could not understand. Holographic projections flickered in and out of existence, showing scenes of a long-lost civilization. Ships, cities, and beings moved in patterns, yet none resembled anything in the known galaxy. Ilara stopped at the center of a circular platform. A shimmering energy field hovered above a pedestal, glowing softly. She felt drawn to it, a pull stronger than curiosity, almost instinctual. "Commander," Dr. Halon said cautiously, "we don't know what that is. It could be dangerous." Ilara's eyes narrowed, but her decision was made. "I know, but sometimes to learn we must take the first step." She lifted her boot and placed it carefully inside the energy field. Immediately, a wave of light and warmth spread through her body. The symbols on the platform glowed brighter, and a low hum filled the air, resonating in every bone and nerve. It was both frightening and exhilarating. The rest of the crew watched, tense, as the platform responded to her presence. Thalor's eyes widened. "It's activating. The field. It's responding to you, Commander." Ilara's mind raced. She could feel the energy flowing around her, almost as if the planet itself was alive. She took another step, deeper into the field. Symbols shifted and rearranged themselves, creating a language that seemed to communicate directly into her mind. Images of stars, planets, and civilizations flashed before her eyes, ancient knowledge beyond the galaxy's current understanding. Suddenly, the hum intensified, spreading outward. Outside the platform, the planet began to vibrate. The energy field expanded, reaching into the sky like a pillar of light. The crew scrambled back, shielding their eyes. "What is happening?" Kara shouted over the noise. Ilara's voice came steady but awed. "I think we've awakened something that has been waiting." The pillar of light shot upward, piercing the sky, and a ripple traveled across space. Sensors aboard the starbound explorer detected it instantly. It was faint, yet measurable, a signal moving faster than any known communication. It would reach other systems, other worlds, in a matter of hours. Dr. Halon swallowed hard. "Commander, what have we done?" Ilara looked down at the shimmering field beneath her feet. "We've taken the first step," she said. "And sometimes the first step changes everything." The planet seemed to settle again, the energy field retracting slightly, but still pulsing gently. The ruins, once silent, now felt alive, like a heartbeat echoing in the ground. Thalor floated closer. "This civilization, It's older than any record, older than the oldest star charts. Whatever we've awakened, it is not small. The galaxy may feel it soon." Ilara nodded, understanding the weight of their actions. They had discovered something incredible, something that could reshape everything they knew. But she also knew that fear must not rule their actions. Humanity had always faced the unknown with courage and ingenuity, and this moment would be no different. "We document everything," she said firmly. "Every symbol, every pulse of energy. We record the coordinates, and then we prepare. Whatever this is, the galaxy will need to understand it, and humanity will lead the way." Kara looked at her with admiration. "You really believe that, don't you? That humans can face this?" Ilara smiled softly. "Not alone, but together, with our allies, with every species willing to learn and adapt, we can face anything. That is what humans have always done." The team spent the next several hours scanning and recording the ruins. They discovered structures that seemed designed to teach, to share knowledge with those who could interpret it. Machines that moved without fuel, lights that communicated, with thought rather than sound, and symbols that hinted at technology far beyond the galaxy's current understanding. As night fell on the distant planet, Ilara stood on the platform once more, gazing at the stars. The ripple they had sent would reach the galaxy soon, announcing that humans had taken a bold step. She could not know what reactions awaited: fear, curiosity, or perhaps hostility. But she knew this. Exploration was the essence of humanity. They had taken a step and the universe had noticed. "Tomorrow," she said quietly, "we begin understanding what we've awakened. Tonight, we watch the stars and remember why we explore. Because the unknown is not something to fear, it is something to embrace." The planet's ruins hummed softly beneath her boots, a quiet promise that more wonders and challenges awaited. And in that moment, Ilara felt the weight and the thrill of responsibility. Humanity had stepped into the unknown, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The galaxy had barely settled into its newfound peace when strange reports began arriving. On worlds hundreds of light years away, stars dimmed unexpectedly. Entire communication networks experienced unusual disruptions, and space phenomena that no one had seen before appeared without warning. Some planets reported brief time distortions, where hours passed in seconds or days felt like minutes. Panic quietly began to spread. Back on the Starbound Explorer, Commander Ilara Voss monitored these reports through the ship's network. She had expected curiosity and wonder to follow their discovery, but she had not anticipated this. Her single step onto the ancient planet's platform, the first human step into something far older than the galaxy itself, had set off a ripple that was already making waves across countless systems. Dr. Halen looked at the screens with concern. "Ilara, these readings. The anomalies are happening near inhabited planets. Some civilizations are starting to panic. They don't understand the connection yet, but they sense something is wrong." Ilara's jaw tightened. "We have to act quickly. Humans have always faced the unknown, but we also have to fix what we unintentionally disrupt. Let's prepare a report for the Galactic Council." Kara Chen, standing nearby, shook her head slightly. "Commander, the Council may not be receptive. Many species already distrust humans. Even though we helped bring peace, this could make them see us as a threat." Ilara didn't respond immediately. She understood the fear. Humans were bold, sometimes recklessly so, and that boldness had earned both admiration and suspicion. But she also knew that hesitation could cost the galaxy dearly. "Then we act," she said finally. "We explain, we assist, and we show that humanity's curiosity is matched by responsibility. That is what sets us apart." The Starbound Explorer moved quickly through the affected regions, scanning the anomalies and sending warnings to nearby planets. On one mining colony orbiting the star Zephyr, Ilara and her team observed a sudden energy surge emanating from a distant star. The colony's inhabitants panicked as their sun dimmed slightly, and a strange aurora danced across the sky. Ilara addressed the colony leaders via holographic communication. "We understand your concern. What you are seeing is connected to an ancient planetary system we recently explored. My team and I are working to understand it, and we will provide solutions. Please remain calm." Some leaders were grateful, others suspicious, demanded answers. Why did humans interfere with the universe? One shouted. Why are our stars changing? Ilara met their accusations with calm confidence. We did not interfere lightly. We took a step to learn, as humans have always done. Now we face the consequences together. Our goal is the safety of all worlds. Her words were not universally accepted, but slowly, the panic lessened in places where the human presence reassured frightened civilizations. Still, messages of fear and confusion continued to arrive from other systems. Meanwhile, aboard the Starbound Explorer, the team worked tirelessly to understand the source of the ripple. The energy field on the uncharted planet was clearly ancient, and clearly powerful beyond anything the galaxy had ever encountered. Dr. Holland studied the readings. The field seems to have a network that spans multiple star systems. When Commander Voss activated it, it sent a signal, a ripple that touches distant planets. It's not destructive, not yet, but it is altering energy balances. If left unchecked, it could destabilize entire solar systems. Ilara absorbed the information. We need to find a way to neutralize it, or at least control it. The last thing humanity should do is cause harm, even by accident. Thaler, the Rylo's navigator, floated nearby. The field seems intelligent. It responds to presence almost as if it recognizes life forms. It is aware. Whatever we do must consider that, Ilara nodded slowly. Then we proceed carefully. We do not destroy. We do not fight blindly. We communicate as much as possible. Humanity's strength is not just our courage. It is our ability to think, to reason, to cooperate. As the team studied the planet further, strange phenomena began to occur aboard the ship. Time readings fluctuated, equipment glitched, and crew members reported seeing brief visions, flashes of alien worlds, cities of light, and creatures that seemed both familiar and impossible. It's affecting perception, Kara said, her voice tense. Some people are seeing things that aren't there or things that haven't happened yet. Ilara's mind raced. That is why we must be careful. The field reacts. Our presence, our thoughts, even our fears could change its behavior. We cannot panic. We cannot act out of emotion. Humanity has always solved problems through intelligence and unity. That is what we must rely on now. Word of the anomalies reached the Galactic Council. Panic began to mix with suspicion. Some leaders argued that humans should be restrained, that the species whose curiosity caused these ripples could not be trusted with galactic exploration. Yet other leaders argued differently. Humans have brought peace, unity, and solutions to problems no other species could solve, said a tall, feathered ambassador from planet Lysera. Their actions may have caused uncertainty now, but their ingenuity and courage are unmatched. We must trust them to correct this. Ilara watched the debates via hologram. She understood the fear, but she also felt a familiar surge of determination. Humanity's path was never easy, but it was defined by perseverance, creativity, and responsibility. Back on the ancient planet, the team discovered a new pattern. The energy field was not static. It was a network, connected to nodes across the planet's surface. Each node pulsed in rhythm with the field, responding to the smallest movements. It was as if the planet itself was alive, a thinking system older than most civilizations combined. Ilara stepped closer to one of the nodes. We need to understand its language, she said. If it communicates, we must learn to interpret it. Humanity has always overcome the unknown through observation and reasoning. This is no different, Dr. Halen nodded. I'll try to decode the symbols. They seem to follow logical patterns, almost mathematical. If we can understand them, we might be able to influence the field safely. Hours passed. The team worked tirelessly, recording every pulse, every shift of the symbols, every reaction of the nodes. Slowly, patterns emerged. The field responded to intention. Calm, logical thought caused it to stabilize. Aggression or fear caused it to pulse unpredictably. Ilara realized what this meant. Humanity had been lucky, not just clever. Their natural curiosity had activated the field, but their composure and reason could control it. This is a test, she said quietly. The planet, the field, it is testing us, not just for knowledge, but for our ability to act responsibly. And humans can do that. That is why we were chosen, whether by the universe or by chance. Kara looked at her. But the galaxy is already feeling the effects. We need a solution fast, Ilara nodded. Then we continue. We learn, we adapt. Humanity has always faced the unknown and emerged stronger. This is no different. As the Starbound explorer prepared for another long night of observation, reports continued to arrive from distant systems. The ripple of energy was subtle but undeniable. Some stars dimmed slightly. Planets experienced minor shifts in gravity or magnetic fields. Yet in every instance, human teams on nearby ships managed to stabilize conditions using the new understanding gained from the ancient planet. It became clear that humanity's role was not only to explore, but also to guide, to mediate and to solve problems no other species could handle. For every instance of panic, there was a story of human ingenuity restoring balance, showing the galaxy that curiosity paired with responsibility could turn danger into opportunity. Alara stood once more on the platform of the ancient planet. The energy field pulsed gently, almost as if it recognized her presence and the careful steps her team had taken. She felt a deep connection, not just to the planet but to the universe itself. "We have begun to understand," she said softly, "but this is only the beginning. The ripple we caused has reached far, and the galaxy will not forget it. Humanity will not just be celebrated for achievements or inventions. We will be known for courage, for intelligence, and for the willingness to face the unknown and take responsibility for it." The stars above the planet shimmered in quiet acknowledgement, and Alara knew the coming days would challenge humanity in ways they had never imagined. Yet she felt a spark of confidence that only humans could carry. The certainty that no matter the challenge, they would find a way. The galaxy had rejoiced once, but now it would watch closely. And one human, standing on the edge of discovery, would shape the story of what came next. The energy field on the uncharted planet remained active, a living pulse that seemed to watch and respond to the humans who had dared to enter its domain. Commander Alara Voss knew that understanding it from a distance was no longer enough. The ripple of energy had already reached distant systems, causing fear, confusion, and minor disruptions. If humanity was to prevent serious consequences, they would have to confront the field directly. "This is it," Alara said to her team aboard the Starbound Explorer. "We cannot wait. If the energy continues unchecked, more systems will experience instability. We need to neutralize it or at least gain control over it before it escalates." Dr. Halen adjusted his console, scanning the planet's network of nodes. "The field is reactive. It responds to our thoughts, our intentions, but it's also intelligent. I think it's capable of resisting us if it senses danger." Alara nodded. "Then we proceed carefully. No hasty actions, no fear, no aggression. Humanity has always faced danger with reason and courage. We rely on that now." Kara Chen floated beside her, checking the team's suits and equipment. "Are we really ready for this? What if the field fights back?" Alara smiled gently. "We will face whatever comes together. That is the human way. Courage, unity, and intelligence. That is why we are here, and why the galaxy will trust us." The team descended to the planet's surface once more, their boots pressing into the soft ground. The ruins shimmered under the dim light of the distant star, casting long, strange shadows. Every step they took was measured, every movement deliberate. The platform that had first activated the energy field pulsed faintly in response to their presence. Thyalor, the Rylo's navigator, hovered closer to Alara. "I sense that the field is aware of each of us individually. It knows who leads, who follows, who observes. It will test us differently." Alara glanced at the nodes scattered across the ruins. "Then we show it who humans are, not through force, but through thought, intention, and cooperation." As they approached the central platform, a low hum filled the air, vibrating through every bone in their bodies. Symbols flickered across the ground, glowing in sequences that seemed almost like a greeting, or a challenge. Dr. Halen knelt near one of the nodes, studying the shifting symbols. "The language is logical. Patterns, sequences, mathematical formulas. If we can match the sequence with our intentions, we can communicate with the field." Ilara's gaze swept over the ruins. "Then we begin, carefully, one step at a time. Humans have always solved problems by observing, understanding, and acting together. That is how we succeed." The first step onto the central platform was nerve-wracking. As Ilara moved forward, the field reacted, pulsating faster, almost like a heartbeat. The symbols shifted, forming patterns that seemed to mirror her thoughts. Every member of the team followed, keeping calm and steady, their presence synchronized. Suddenly, the ground trembled and beams of light shot from distant nodes toward the platform. The energy was not hostile, but it tested their ability to remain calm. Kara whispered. It's challenging us, testing our resolve. Alara nodded. Then we remain steady. Fear or panic will make it unpredictable. Confidence and unity will guide us. Working together, the team began to interpret the symbols. Dr. Halen traced sequences on a holographic pad. Kara mirrored movements on the platform, and Thalor matched the energy flow with precise navigation patterns. Slowly, the field began to stabilize, its pulses harmonizing with their coordinated efforts. This is incredible, Dr. Halen said, his voice filled with awe. The field isn't just responding, it's learning. It's adapting to us. Alara allowed herself a brief smile. That is humanity's gift. We learn quickly, adapt to challenges, and act responsibly. That is why we survive and why we inspire. Hours passed. The field tested them in new ways. Energy guardians, invisible to the eye, created illusions of danger, rocks that fell, lights that flashed like lasers. But the team remained focused. Their cooperation, patience, and intelligence allowed them to navigate the challenges. Every misstep was corrected, every pattern decoded until the field no longer reacted unpredictably. At last, the energy pulse began to calm. The shimmering nodes synchronized, creating a gentle hum that resonated with the team's heartbeat. The field was no longer chaotic. It was controlled, at least for now. Alara stepped back, her eyes scanning the ruins. We have proven ourselves, she said softly. Not through strength, not through violence, but through reason, courage, and unity. Humanity has always faced challenges like this, and we have always risen to meet them. Thalor floated near her, awe in his eyes. It recognizes your efforts. The field, it is aware of human qualities. Courage, intelligence, cooperation. It may allow other species to interact safely because it trusts humans to guide them. Alara nodded. Then our responsibility is greater than ever. We are the bridge between this ancient intelligence and the rest of the galaxy. How we act next will shape the future for countless civilizations. Despite their success, the team knew that challenges were far from over. As they studied the platform, a sudden vibration shook the ground. A deep voice resonating not through sound but thought echoed in their minds. You have claimed what is forbidden. Prove your worth or face consequences. The team froze. The voice was neither hostile nor kind. It was a test, a reminder of the power they had awakened. Alara stood tall, her voice calm and confident. We seek knowledge, not power. We act responsibly, not recklessly. Humanity has faced the unknown before, and we have done so with courage and integrity. That is our worth. The energy field pulsed in response, brighter and more harmonious than ever. The test was far from over, but the first challenge had been passed. The planet's energy seemed to recognize the human qualities of reason, empathy, and courage. Later, aboard the Starbound explorer, the team reflected on their efforts. The galaxy was beginning to understand the ripple effects of the field, but the humans' actions had already mitigated much of the potential chaos. Systems that had experienced minor disruptions were stabilized, and civilizations that had feared the worst now cautiously accepted human assistance. Alara addressed the team in the observation room. We have done what many thought impossible. We faced the unknown and we emerged stronger. But this is only the beginning. We must continue to study the field, understand its full potential, and ensure that humanity acts as a responsible guide. Kara smiled faintly. Humans really do have a way of inspiring others, don't they? Alara nodded. We do. Not because we are the strongest or the most advanced, but because we act with thought, courage, and heart. That is what the galaxy needs now, and what the galaxy will remember. As night fell on the distant planet, the ruins pulsed softly, no longer threatening, no longer chaotic. The field had become a living classroom, a network that humans and their allies could study, learn from, and eventually guide safely. The ripple across the galaxy would continue, but now it carried hope instead of fear. Alara stood alone on the platform for a moment, gazing at the stars. One step, she whispered. One small human step changed everything. And now we have the responsibility to ensure that every step we take continues to bring light, not darkness. The galaxy was watching. Unseen civilizations felt the pulse of the ancient field, sensed the human courage that had stabilized it, and began to understand that humans were not just explorers, they were leaders, problem solvers, and catalysts for change. Alara returned to her team, confident and resolute. The challenge ahead would be greater, the tests harder, But humanity had proven it could face the unknown with reason, empathy, and bravery. Whatever the ancient field or the universe would throw at them next, they were ready. The ripple of energy had changed the galaxy, but humanity's response had changed it back in ways that inspired hope, courage, and unity. And as Ilara looked at the stars, she knew that the greatest test was yet to come. One human step had unleashed consequences, but one human resolve could guide the galaxy through them. The energy field on the ancient planet had settled into a gentle rhythm, but the central platform remained active, pulsing softly with a light that seemed almost alive. Commander Ilara Voss knew this was no ordinary field. It was a living network, a relic of a civilization older than the galaxy itself, and somewhere within it, a consciousness waited, aware of the humans who had awakened it. "This is it," Ilara said, turning to her team. "Whatever comes next will test not only our courage, but our humanity. We've proven ourselves with reason and patience. Now we face its ultimate judgment." Dr. Helen adjusted the scanners, watching the energy fluctuations carefully. "The field, it's forming patterns I haven't seen before. It's intelligent. It's responding to us differently now. It's aware that we understand its logic." Thaler, the Rylo's navigator, floated closer. "It is preparing for direct communication. I sense awareness, a presence." Ilara took a deep breath. "Then we proceed with respect. Humanity has faced unknown intelligence before, and we have always approached it with curiosity, empathy, and integrity. This is no different." The team advanced toward the central node. Symbols shifted in the air, forming intricate sequences of light. Suddenly, the platform glowed brightly, and a voice, deep, resonant, and neither hostile nor friendly, entered their minds. "You have claimed what is forbidden. Why should your kind be allowed to continue?" The team froze. This was no ordinary AI. They were speaking to something ancient, aware, and intelligent beyond measure. Ilara stepped forward, her voice calm and confident. "We did not claim. We explored. We acted with respect. Humans have always sought knowledge, not conquest. We have faced the unknown with courage, reasoning, and empathy. That is why we stand before you now." The field pulsed, symbols rearranging themselves rapidly, testing them, challenging them. Images flashed in their minds. Galaxies, civilizations, and ancient histories long forgotten. The voice returned, stronger this time. "Knowledge comes with responsibility. Can you carry the burden of understanding without causing harm?" Ilara met the question directly. "Yes, humans are imperfect, but we learn from our mistakes. We have acted responsibly to stabilize the ripple we caused. We do not seek power. We seek to understand and to guide, for the good of all." The platform reacted. The symbols flowed around them, forming a three-dimensional pattern that seemed to reflect their actions. The energy field was testing them, not with physical danger, but with judgment. Every fear, every doubt, every impulse was mirrored in the light, challenging their resolve. Kara whispered, "It knows us. It sees everything we feel." Ilara nodded. "Then we show it who humans truly are. Courage, intelligence, empathy, unity." They worked together, coordinating movements with thought and intention. Dr. Halen traced sequences in the air, Kara mirrored them physically, and Thalor adjusted the energy flow through the platform. Slowly, the field's pulses synchronized with their heartbeat, responding to their collective resolve. For hours, they persisted, decoding the symbols, maintaining calm, and proving their worth. The field tested them with illusions of danger, flashes of light, and visions of disaster. But the team remained focused, showing patience, cooperation, and courage. Finally, the field pulsed steadily, harmonized, and the voice spoke once more, gentler this time. "You have learned. You have acted with wisdom and care. Your kind has shown it can bear the responsibility of knowledge. The galaxy is safe, and yet, you have awakened the path of change." Ilara bowed her head slightly. We will respect this responsibility. We will guide, not dominate. We will teach, not destroy. Humanity will act with the knowledge we have gained. The energy field began to recede, but the patterns in the air left behind a lasting impression. A library of knowledge, a network of understanding, and a map of possibilities far beyond anything the galaxy had known. The ripple that had caused panic in distant systems now carried guidance instead of chaos. Civilizations could observe the field, study it safely, and benefit from the wisdom it contained. Thalor looked at Alara with awe. It has entrusted you with knowledge, not because of strength or technology, but because of the way humans think, act, and feel. Your species has earned its place among the stars. Alara allowed herself a small smile. Then we continue the work, not as rulers, not as conquerors, but as guides and protectors. Humanity's first step awakened the field, but our choices will shape the galaxy's future. Back aboard the Starbound Explorer, the team transmitted reports to the Galactic Council. For the first time, the galaxy learned of the ancient field, the ripple it had sent, and the humans who had calmed it. The response was awe and gratitude. Alien leaders recognized that humans had not only discovered something incredible, but had also acted responsibly in the face of unprecedented power. Ambassador Rylix spoke to the council. Humans did not seek control or glory. They acted with courage, reasoning, and empathy. This is why they are worthy of trust and respect. Humanity reminds us that curiosity, paired with responsibility, can change the galaxy for the better. The message spread quickly. Across distant worlds, civilizations that had feared the ripple began to understand the human's role. Explorers, problem solvers, and caretakers of knowledge. Alara stood on the observation deck looking at the stars. The ripple of energy had started with a single human step, but it had been guided by human resolve. And now, humanity had become a symbol across the galaxy, not just of invention, but of courage, intelligence, and moral strength. The days that followed were filled with exploration and study. The platform and its nodes became a hub of cooperation. Humans and alien species worked together to understand the patterns, to decode the knowledge, and to apply it safely. Humanity had taken a step into the unknown, and that step had transformed not only their own story, but the destiny of countless civilizations. Dr. Halen marveled at the data. This knowledge, it could change how we travel, communicate, and even think. The galaxy will never be the same. Kara smiled. And humans led the way as always. Alara nodded. We did not do it alone. Our allies, our unity, and our courage made this possible. That is humanity's true strength, our ability to act with reason and heart, together with others. One night, as the team rested, the energy field pulsed gently, a quiet reminder of the intelligence that had judged them. Alara touched the platform lightly, feeling the rhythm, the connection. She understood that their journey was far from over. The ancient intelligence had left a message. Humans were catalysts of change. With every step, every choice, they could shape the galaxy. And humans would continue to step forward with courage and responsibility. Alara looked at the stars, her eyes reflecting distant worlds. One step changed everything, she whispered. But one choice, one human choice, can guide the galaxy toward hope, unity, and discovery. The galaxy had rejoiced once before. Now it would watch humans with respect and awe, not for their weapons nor for their technology, but for their courage, ingenuity, and moral strength. One human had taken a step, but humanity as a whole had shown what it truly meant to rise to the challenge. The ripple of their actions would continue, but now it carried light, knowledge, and hope instead of fear. And as Alara stood on the platform, she knew that this was only the beginning. Humanity's journey had just begun, and the universe would never forget the day one human step changed everything.